Welcome back to another class on Halacha for Women. We are in the sefer called Otzar Dinim by Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef Shlita. Today we want to speak about, is a woman allowed to daven in pajamas or in an apron? What about with slippers or barefooted? Mutar li'isha chola or sha'ar ones litpalal in beged sheina. If a woman is sick or she has another thing that is forcing her that she's not able to get dressed in her proper attire, she is allowed to pray Shemona Esrei with pajamas on. As long as her arms are going to be covered. However, below ones kiniskar, ein ra'ui litpalel im beged sheinam. What happens if she is well? There's nothing holding her back from getting dressed properly. It's just she's lazy. Rav Yitzchak Yosef Shlita says, it is not proper for one to daven with pajamas. Is it asur? No, it's not going to be asur. Is it mutar? It's not really mutar. What is it? We don't want you to go that route. We need to understand that whenever we are davening Shemona Esrei, we are standing before HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If you had a business meeting, or if you went out for lunch, or if you went to a wedding, how would you get dressed? Why, when it comes to davening to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, somehow it's okay that whatever we do is fine by Hashem? Especially in the summer, you see people come with shorts and t-shirts and Crocs and so on and so forth. So you might tell me, Rabbi, isn't that better than nothing? It is better than nothing. Everything's always better than nothing. But we have to be able to educate the people the proper way to be able to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We have to teach them. It's not about better than nothing. It's about doing what's right. I one time was dealt with a case that where kids would learn Torah and they would leave the room messy, like food on the floor, food on the table. It was a very big mess. So somebody said, isn't it better that they learn Torah and we shouldn't pay so much attention to what they're doing after? We're happy that they're learning Torah. Yes, we're happy that they're learning Torah, but you also have to teach the kids discipline, derech eretz, that when you eat, you clean up after yourself. What does that mean? Just because you learn Torah, that means you can do anything now? It doesn't work like that. That's why over here also, people think they come to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu so they can be dressed any way they want. You have to understand, after 120, every single person can be asked a question. Why, when it came to your business, you took it more important? It was more serious in your eyes. When it came to the Avodat Hashem, it was less important. How's that possible? Why? When it came to a wedding, you looked the best. Came to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you were okay with the way you were dressed. There is a mitzvah, we'll see that there is a saying from Chazal, Chikon likrat Elokecha Israel. Prepare yourself to greet Hashem your God. That means to say that a person has to be presentable when he comes to daven before Hashem. To daven in pajamas, does that make sense to you? Would you host your in-laws with pajamas? No. So what do you want to tell me? Hashem Chas v'Shalom Lo Aleinu is less than your in-laws. That's over here we're trying to say like this. That if this woman, she's not sick, and there's nothing holding her back, there's nothing holding her back from getting dressed in the proper attire, it's just, let's say, because she's lazy. Or, she's not in the mood, I don't know. Can she daven in pajamas? It is better not to. It's not proper to daven in pajamas. V'chein ra'ui shelo titpalena im hasinar she'osokod bo b'nikoi bayit. Also with an apron. A woman should not daven with an apron. It's not proper. Sometimes I go down with mincha, and I see people, Rabotai, I'm just sharing with you. You have people that are butchers. You have people that are barbers. You have people that are shoemakers. And they'll come to daven mincha with those things on them. We have to understand that we are standing before HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why in the world would I want to stand before HaKadosh Baruch Hu with an apron? I used to work as a shoemaker before. My brother-in-law, who's he works in construction. Now he made an aliyah to Israel because his whole family's there. I remember when he was over here, he was always working in construction. And in construction, you always get dirty. Before he would daven, he would make sure that he would put on his white shirt, make sure he would dust off the pants. He would always have to be presentable before Hashem. You're coming to speak to Hashem. It's not just to come with your apron, whether you're a butcher, barber, shoemaker. I also could have been dirty. When I worked in my father's place, again, I had to wear a white shirt. Not that I had to, I'm saying I couldn't wear any other shirt, but I wanted to wear a white shirt. And when you wear a white shirt and when you repair shoes, your shirt gets black very fast. So that's not a problem, okay? Because that was like my working clothing. But when it would come time for mincha, I would have to take that off and put a white shirt on. I wouldn't be able to down to HaKadosh Baruch Hu with a shirt that has glue and paint, everything on it. But this is what he's trying to tell us over here. Yeah, is it halachically fine? Yeah, everything you could tell me that it's good. But it is not proper. That's what he tells you over here. En ra'oi litpalel im beged sheina. It is not proper for a woman to pray with pajamas, and so too, it's not proper for a woman to pray with an apron that she goes ahead and cleans the house with. What kind of importance are we showing HaKadosh Baruch Hu? With the apron that I clean with, that same apron I'm going to dive into you. It doesn't show no importance. That's he continues and he says, V'kaimu b'atzmam. And now you're going to be able to fulfill through yourselves, Hikon likrat Elohecha Israel. Prepare to greet your God, Israel. It's one of the things that's why I told you before, when you come down to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you have to come presentable. You're coming to greet him. Would you want to greet somebody, even a guest, in an apron? No. But Hashem, somehow it's okay. This is our problem, Rabotai. It's like Rabbi Yochanan, I think it was Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, in Masech Brachot Daf Chavchet Amud Bet, I believe, like almost in the middle, a little bit down in the middle of the Gemara, when he was already dying, the student said, Rabbi, give us a blessing. So you know the blessing that he gave them? May you guys fear God the way you guys fear people. So those students said, that's the whole blessing. So Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said, that's all. First try to accomplish that. Because in reality, we are more afraid of what people are going to say about us than what Hashem is going to say about us. But Chazal just teaches just the opposite. You should be concerned about what Hashem thinks about you and not what people think about you. It is better, Chazal tell us, to be a shoita. It's better to be a fool in the eyes of people for all your life than to be a fool in the eyes of Hashem even for one moment. But by us, it's just the opposite. We want to look good in their eyes and we want to look bad in the eyes of Hashem. So we see from over here, pajamas, no, apron, no. Again, if you're going to do it, is it okay? Technically, it is okay. Is it proper? No, it's not proper. Okay. If a woman is sick, she's even allowed to daven with slippers the initial way, meaning that's if she's sick, she's allowed to daven like that. There's no problem. She does not have to put on her shoes before she downs Shemoneh Esrei. Again, when a woman is sick, she has different laws. Like over there, we saw if a woman was sick, we're going to tell her she's allowed to down with pajamas. Over here, we see if a woman is sick and she has slippers on, she's allowed to down with slippers. She doesn't have to be concerned of nothing. This is the best way for her to go. She doesn't have to take off her shoes, meaning she doesn't have to take off her slippers and put on her shoes. But then he continues and he says, Lechatchila, the best way, En ra'ui litpalel tefillah Shemoneh Esrei ki ha'isha yechafeh. It is not proper to daven Shemoneh Esrei when a woman is barefooted. Ela yesh lin'ol et amina alaim kodem ha'tefillah. Rather, she should first put on shoes before she starts davening Shemoneh Esrei. However, ima davar kashela me'eza onus. What happens if it's hard? For whatever reason it might be. Rasha'id litpalel im na'alei bayit. She's allowed to pray with slippers. V'chem b'tisha b'av b'yom kippurim mutar litpalel im na'alei bayit she'enam asur min me'or. So on Tisha B'av and Yom Kippur, she's allowed to pray. She's allowed to pray Shemona Esrei with slippers as long as they are not made out of leather. So we see over here a few halachot. First halacha, we saw that if a woman is lo aleinu chas v'shalom sick, we're going to tell her she's allowed to daven with pajamas. Or if there's other reasons that are holding her back from being able to get dressed, we're going to tell her she is allowed to pray with pajamas, as long as her arms are covered. Then we saw, but what happens if she's 100% well? There's nothing that is holding her back from getting dressed properly. It's just she's lazy, she's not in the mood. We're going to tell you over there, halachically, it's not asur, but it's not proper to daven like that because you're coming to stand before Hashem. So too, it's not proper for a woman to pray with an apron. And if you're going to be able to dress the proper way, you're going to fulfill the saying of Hikon likrat Elohech Yisrael. Prepare yourself to greet HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Then we said, if a woman lo aleinu chas v'shalom is sick, she's allowed to even daven initially with slippers, and she does not have to put on shoes. But we did mention, when a woman is davening Shemona Esrei, should she daven barefooted? Absolutely not. She should try to wear shoes. For whatever reason, if she cannot wear shoes, she's also able to go ahead and wear slippers. But we learned from today's class the importance of proper attire. Have a great day. Baruch Adonai L'olam. Amen ve'amen.